Check. Hey, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? We got a fun live for you guys here today. Let's give it like a minute or two. Let's allow everybody to catch up to this live. Goat, I see you. Let's give it like another 2 minutes and we're going to get into it. We're going to have a lot of fun with this live right here today. So let's give it like another 2 minutes. Let's allow everybody to catch up to the live. Also, make sure you check in where you guys are coming from. You can't go 1 day without saying Michael Jordan's name. Okay, bro, no problem. I want twerkers in the chat. Let's give it like another minute. We're going to get it going. Let's allow everybody to catch up. Welcome in from Norway. I see you. Welcome in. The GOAT, I see you. Show my boy LeBron some respect. Okay. LeBron is more like GOAT cheese. All right, let's give it like another minute or so. We're going to get into it. I see Omaha in there. Was good. Elijah Morris was good. Elijah Morris, I think I got that right. Let's give it like another 30 seconds and we're going to get it going. Shout out to Portugal. We got Portugal in the house. Courtney was good. Alonzo, welcome in. Jacksonville, welcome in. The GOATs, Brooklyn, New York was good. Jesse was good. Miami, Florida, welcome in. Nashville, welcome in. Miami, I see you. Let's give it like another 10 seconds and we get it going. Louisiana, the Bay, that's what's up. Virginia Beach, welcome in. Was just listening to the clips yesterday. Shout out to Virginia Beach. Jersey was good. New York, New Orleans, Houston, Lebanon, England, welcome in from England. Okay. All right. So NYC, I see we got a lot of people from New York, Seattle, Washington. Thank you guys for being a part of this live. Shout out to Georgia, Texas, North Carolina, Syracuse, New York. Compton was good. Paris and Charleston, Charlottesville and St. Croix, Milwaukee in the building, Ontario, Canada. Shout out to Canada and Alabama. Okay. And Hawaii, Chicago, Inglewood. Man, so many of y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Shout out to Sweden and Connecticut. Okay, so as I promised you guys, I wanted to talk about what happened last night. It's been a long time since we've done a live where we actually, put together a lot of notes for you guys, right? We put together a lot of notes because I had a lot of stuff that I wanted to cover and I didn't want to miss any points. So this one is just going to be straight up basketball talk, no controversy, nothing like that. So let's start off with the big one. LeBron James officially, shout out to Haiti and Canada, LeBron James has officially become the number one scorer in NBA history. First of all, we got to stand up and we got to clap for LeBron because that's a major, major, major achievement. I don't think coming into the NBA, I remember when LeBron came into the league in 2000. No, he came in 2003 or 2005. I think 03, 04, if I'm not mistaken, when LeBron came in. When he came in, when I was in high school, I don't remember us saying like, yo, one day, 03. I don't remember us saying like, man, one day this guy can go on to lead the NBA in scoring. I wasn't even thinking about that. I don't think most people were thinking about that. Shout out to Boston and the Cayman Islands. We were not thinking about that. We knew that there was a lot of hype around him. We knew that he was coming in with a hell of a draft class with him, Carmelo Anthony, Dwayne Wade, and there's another guy that was picked ahead of Dwayne Wade. I forgot his name by the Detroit Pistons. I forgot his name. I can't remember his name. But I remember LeBron coming in with all the hype. I remember that first game. Darko. Exactly. Darko. I remember that first game he came in, I think against the Sacramento Kings, and he had that dunk. And we were like, okay, this guy looks for real. I think he scored 25 points that game. And he had a very long career. But to be quite honest with you, for the first maybe 10 years of LeBron's career, I don't think I ever thought about him catching Kareem. I don't even think that was a goal of LeBron's. Now, obviously, you come into the NBA as a teenager out of high school. Yes, you have a lot of years on your side, but LeBron wasn't the only player and the first player to come out of high school. So I don't think that was something in LeBron's like to-do list, right? I think what happened with LeBron was that he really began to show a tremendous level of self-discipline. I saw what somebody said. I don't know if that's true or not, so I don't want to get into that. But he showed a tremendous amount of self-discipline with his body, and he really started to take his nutrition extremely serious, and he became meticulous about it. And it became rather apparent that he was one of the most, or if not arguably the most conditioned NBA player in the league at one point. I remember the series with the Lakers versus the Denver Nuggets back in 2008. 2009-10, that series. And I remember going into that series, a lot of people were picking the Nuggets to beat the Lakers. And I think game one, Carmelo scored 40. I think Kobe scored 40. Then the Nuggets stole game two. Then they went to Denver for game three, and Carmelo started to fade. His performances started to fade over time. And I realized it had nothing to do with his skills, but it had a lot to do with his conditioning. So in the case of LeBron, if you look at him and a lot of his contemporaries, he really kept his conditioning at such a high level to the point where now he seems to be defying nature in Father Time. So for him to reach this goal, and not only for him to get this scoring title, but for him to shatter the scoring record. He's not just getting the scoring title. It's not like as if this is his retirement season, this is his last year, and he managed to cross the finish line right before it was over. No, he's still going. And he's not retiring next year. So one could conceive that he can end up having 40,000 plus career points. And personally, I think that what he's going to try to do is put the scoring title absolutely out of reach. That's what I think. I think he's going to take it to 40,000 points and above. That's what I believe. So for him to reach that, I've always told you guys on the channel, what I admire most about him is his dedication to his craft, the level of seriousness he views himself with in terms of his legacy. LeBron is not my favorite player by any stretch, but you got to hand it to him that even though he does all of his moves, whatever it is, he's concerned about the legacy he leaves behind. And not a lot of players feel that way. The truth is, a lot of guys that maybe not have been as talented as LeBron, but were very, 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 very talented nonetheless, they kind of lost that fire in their belly. Maybe after they got their second big contract, maybe after they won their second ring, you can kind of see them kind of taper off. And they just kind of become content, maybe end up being a top 75 player, maybe end up being a very rich guy, but they don't really continue to strive at that level. So for him to still give a damn is quite remarkable in my book. Now, if you guys remember, 2 years ago, last year, I changed my LeBron all-time ranking. I had him originally at number 4 all time, if you guys remember. I had him originally at number 4. Then what happened? I moved him out of my top 5 because of what happened with the what's the team? With the Lakers last year, that they didn't even make it into the play-in. And I'm like, this is absurd. Why? Because no other player in the top 10, or at least in the top 5, had that level of talent and not even make the playoffs. I thought that was crazy. So I moved him to my out of my top 5. I believe I had him at 6 or 7. And a lot of people got upset with me. Oh, man, this is ridiculous. And I can understand a lot of, oh, man, did you... excuse me, this is absurd. How can you say that? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I'm being fair to the people that I also have on the list. Then this season started, and somehow he's still playing at a high level, but the Lakers are still struggling. But then what happened yesterday is not something that we can just summarily dismiss and say, yeah, it's great, but let's move on. I don't think it was one of those nights, if we're being honest. I don't think we can just chalk that up to, man, that's a hell of a record, but let's keep it moving. So I decided that I wanted to modify my top players ranking, which I'm going to get to a little bit later in this live. So I want you guys to stick around with me, but I moved LeBron on my top ranking, but I'm going to get to that a little bit later in this live if you guys are still here. But I want to get to some other points first, because just today, I saw a few segments on different networks where they were arguing something. The thing they were arguing was, does the scoring title, number one, does it make LeBron the greatest scorer of all time? That's one argument. The second argument is, now that LeBron has eclipsed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, does this make him the greatest player of all time? These are the two arguments that are being thrown out there today. And by the way, make sure you guys follow us on Instagram. We pinned that to the top. We got a lot of cool content out there, so just make sure you follow us on Instagram. We actually just posted something pretty cool out there, so make sure you follow us. We got it pinned to the top. Would really appreciate that. So the question was, does that make him the best scorer? Well, let's address that. In my personal view, it does not make him the greatest scorer of all time. It makes him one of the greatest scorers of all time. There's no doubt about it. There's no way you can potentially reach 40,000 points and not be one of the greatest scorers of all time. There's no way we can, with a serious face, say that. But to say it made him the greatest scorer, that's something I disagree with. And this is where I believe this live is going to get fun. For the people coming in now, I want you guys to know I'm changing my LeBron James ranking. I'm going to get to that a little bit later in the live, but I want you guys to stick around for this part because I want to get into this part first before I get to that part. So, in my personal view, I still have MJ as the greatest scorer of all time. I still have Kobe Bryant as one of the greatest scorers of all time. And if we just focus on MJ for a second, here's what we got to talk about. Michael Jordan played in an NBA when the average score teams were putting up on a night in and night out basis in the 90s was 101.3 points per game. That's the average score NBA teams were putting up. In today's NBA game, that number now has ballooned all the way up to 111.8, almost 112 more points per game is being scored in the NBA today on average. The number of three-pointers has more than doubled. Teams are now attempting in the mid-30s in threes. The 98 Bulls were attempting 14 threes a game. The pace of the game has also sped up. The pace. There are more possessions now in the NBA to score because you have more opportunities to score. So let me give you guys the reason why I'm reverse engineering this argument to say why I believe that even though LeBron has gotten the scoring title in terms of cumulative points, I still think Jordan is still by far the more superior offensive player. Number one, Michael Jordan played in an era where there was virtually no spacing. He also played in an era as a small guy, a 6'6" guy, that was playing in an era with a lot of big physical forwards and centers in the NBA. Alonzo Mourning, Shaq, Olajuwon, Patrick Ewing, Oakley. I mean, the list goes on and on and on when you start to list the guys. Now, I heard somebody talk about how the athletes were slower back then. It wasn't that they were slower. It was that they were heavier because guys had more muscle. The reason you needed more muscle was to be able to deal with the physical nature of the game at that time. If you remember carefully, Tim Grover said that the reason KAJ wasn't the GOAT when scoring time. Yes, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Well, so why LeBron now? Very good point. A very good question, M. Very good question. Fair question. So they were saying that the players were slower then. But Jordan was so frustrated with the physical pounding he was getting that he wanted to get stronger and put on more muscle to be able to deal with the banging. So if you put on more muscle, obviously it's going to mean you're heavier. But it doesn't mean you're a lesser player. It just means you adapted to the era you're in. Notice his family was more excited than his own teammates. That's so telling to me. It's a reason for that. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I'll definitely get to that a little bit later. Appreciate that, Amazon. Appreciate the super chat and appreciate the comment. So in that era, you had a guy who basically averaged 30 points a game for 15 years. On top of that, to this day, MJ holds the scoring record for most points averaged in a regular season over Wilt Chamberlain. In addition to that, he then holds the highest playoff scoring average of 33 points per game. And in addition to that, he had a season in which he scored 37 points a game, attempting 0.8 threes. That year, MJ made 12 three-pointers and averaged damn near 40. He attempted 66 threes. 66. Let me get to this comment. Jordan dominated in the golden era with the big center, no interior bigs, no deter to the lane. Yes, very good point, William. Appreciate that, William. And then sports SPSP was good. Two things can be true. MJ the GOAT, but it doesn't take away from Bron's accomplished. Yes, I agree. This isn't the day to discuss who's the GOAT between MJ and LeBron. I appreciate that, my brother. The reason that conversation is being had is because a lot of people feel that this now makes LeBron the GOAT, and therefore there are going to be people that disagree. Hence, you have the conversation. I saw it happen on Undisputed. I saw it happen on ESPN First Take. I saw it happen on other shows. It's just sports. There's no two ways we're going to get around it, but I totally understand what you're saying. So for me, if a guy was able to average that many points in that era, I can only imagine what he would do in this NBA today. But there's another part of this that we're missing, which is the eye test. We cannot exclude the eye test. If you watch MJ play or Kobe Bryant play, it's not just we're saying, oh, they're better scorers. No, you got to look at the myriad of ways these guys actually scored. And that's another reason a lot of people believe these guys are better scorers. Why? Because they saw them play. I watched Kobe Bryant play, hit turnaround left-handed three-point shots, post guys up, have incredible footwork, dribble going right, pull up, dribble going left, pull up, shoot over two guys, hit circus shots. I saw it all. I saw that happen. So when you look at a guy that can score in so many different ways, you're like, this is incredible. Even when you saw guys now throwing the ball off the backboard and dunking it in the playoffs and all that, they got that from Kobe. He did that against the Utah Jazz in a first round series. I was like, what? They trapped him. He throws the ball off the backboard, runs and dunks it. I had never seen a basketball player do that in a live game apart from Tracy McGrady when he threw it off the backboard in the All-Star game, but then nobody was playing defense, in my opinion. So to me, I still think Jordan is the all-time leading in score, the all-time greatest scorer of all time. For the people, again, that just came in, make sure you follow us on Instagram. I'm modifying my LeBron James ranking. So if you guys want to stick around for that, want to stick around later on this live, we got a lot more that we want to talk about. We got a lot of great content coming out on the channel today. So stick around for that. The second argument I want to touch on is, does the scoring title make LeBron the GOAT? Does it make him the GOAT? Is he now the GOAT? The question first has to become, did we consider Kareem Abdul-Jabbar the GOAT for all of these years just because he had the scoring title? In 2016, when Nick Wright said LeBron officially became the GOAT, he was still trailing Kobe in scoring. And I think Michael Jordan in scoring. He never used that as an argument. I never once heard a LeBron fan that said LeBron was the GOAT before this year or last year and mentioned the scoring title. They felt that way for other reasons. Another reason is when they did the poll and asked, who's the GOAT? And the majority of people said Jordan. If the majority of the people said Jordan, even still while Kareem had the record, the question then becomes, what changed? What changed? What happened that now all of a sudden we'll now say Jordan is no longer the GOAT? What happened? Nothing really happened. Nothing really. I think this achievement goes on the wall of LeBron and it adds to his legacy. And it's going to be one of the things he's going to be remembered for. Like LeBron holds the score the same way with Kareem. But I don't believe that a stat like that makes you the greatest player of all time. I just don't believe so, in my personal view. Now, here's the irony. I looked at the replay. Did y'all realize that Bronny James or LeBron's kids, is it Bronny and Bryce? Do y'all realize they had on Jordans yesterday? I had to take a quick, I'm like, hold up. Are they wearing Jordans? I couldn't believe it. If it was my kids, what? You better not be wearing no damn Jordans around me, and I'm sitting up here talking about I'm the GOAT. You better go put on my shoes. How you gonna say I'm the GOAT and I got my kids running around wearing Michael Jordan shoes? Maybe LeBron must not have known. If I'm his dad, I've been pissed. You guys are gonna take a taxi home, or you gonna catch an Uber. You ain't riding back with me with them Jordans on. Hell no. I'm saying I'm about to be the king, and I got my own kids wearing Jordans. That's crazy. I thought that was just funny. But another thing I want to talk about. Kara Zoll, MJ equals 11 full Bulls seasons with 10 scoring. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway, another thing I want to talk about. LeBron James is like a rapper. Rappers are masters at throwing shots at each other. They're masters at throwing subliminals. They're masters at that. LeBron is a very calculated dude. A very, very calculated dude. Let me tell you guys what happened yesterday. What have we been speculating on how LeBron was going to score? We said he was going to go for the sky hook, if y'all remember. Let me read this comment. I have a question to LeBron fans. Why didn't the debate stop when he lost one time or two times or three times? Why did the debate not stop? From Saul. Very hard to I can't answer, man. I'm not the one putting up that debate. So you asking the wrong person. Maybe they're going to have to answer in the comment section. But anyway, thank you for the comment. We thought he was going to pass it with the hook shot. He kept on practicing the hook shot. Y'all remember? He kept on practicing and practicing it. So we thought he was going to go for a hook shot or like a dunk or something like that. Then LeBron goes to a fadeaway. He goes to a fadeaway. And I'm like, okay, he went for the fadeaway. I'm like, is he taking a shot? I'm like, yo, is that like a watch me break this record while pulling off Michael Jordan's famous shot, which is a fadeaway. We all know Jordan's shot is a fadeaway. That's his shot. It's a fadeaway. And then at the presser, he goes, you know, I got some of my patent moves, but my patent move is the fadeaway. And I was like, bro, come on, stop, man. The fadeaway, bro, LeBron's signature shot is not a fadeaway. To me, LeBron's signature shot or signature thing I see him do a lot that makes me think of LeBron is the tomahawk. LeBron, he's done that shot so many times, the tomahawk dunk, and he's probably done it the best ever. I think that's his most iconic shot is the tomahawk dunk. That's his most iconic shot to me. But when he did that, I thought, okay, that might have been a shot at Jordan, but it's all good. So now let me get to my rankings. Or driving. Or driving to the basket. Exactly. I agree with you. Or driving. Who left that comment? That was Duality Unlimited. I agree with you. Or driving to the basket. The layup, right? Maybe the layup, but it's not as iconic maybe when you want to get the scoring title. Let me get to the next part. So I want to get to my rankings. My original top 5 was the following. I had Michael Jordan at number 1. I had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at number 2. I had Kobe Bryant at number 3. My original, I had LeBron James at number 4. And I had Shaq at number 5. That was my original list. And then I thought about Bill Russell and all of that. But that was really my original top 5. But then I had to make a change. Okay? I'd originally moved LeBron out of my top 5. But after yesterday, LeBron is officially back in my top 5. in my personal top 5, and is going to get to a comment that was left on the channel this afternoon, and some people got pissed off at me. So now my top 5 is the following. I got Michael Jordan. I got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I got Kobe Bryant. And I got LeBron at number 4 all time. Now, some people got pissed off at me in the comments. They said that I was a clown or this is disrespectful because I got him in my top 5. Some people will even say that Kobe shouldn't be there. Magic Johnson should be there. I cannot think of any good reason why Magic Johnson should be ranked higher than Kobe Bryant. I cannot think of a single good reason. Kobe faced more competition. He was the better individual player. He won more championships with less help. He was the better two-way player. Obviously, Magic Johnson is the greatest playmaker ever. Kobe was one of the greatest scorers of all time. He was one of the greatest clutch players of all time. He had one of the most beautiful games like Magic Johnson. But as an individual player, I would rather have Kobe Bryant and go get another guard and go get another point guard. Somebody may rather have Magic Johnson and go look for another shooting guard. I would take Kobe. That's just me. Let me read this comment. I still can't believe MJ dominated in that era when defense was emphasized. No space and no cap. MJ would have broken the NBA today. Thank you, Rainio Brown. I'm going to get to that because JJ Redick made some comments about illegal defense on ESPN today. So I'm going to get to that in a little bit. But for the people wondering, why would you have Kobe and not Magic Johnson? Just to put Kobe's career in perspective, Kobe beat 8 50-plus win teams. 8 in the span from 2008 to 2010. That's more top 50-plus win teams in the playoffs than Magic Johnson faced in his entire career. That's the level of competition Kobe was playing against in the playoffs. He didn't have James Worthy and Hakeem and all of that. That was after Shaq. He had Lamar Odom. He had Derek Fisher. He had Andrew Bynum some of the time. And he had Pau Gasol. And he was beating those caliber teams. I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. So I got Kobe in my top 3. But LeBron is in my top 5. And Smush Parker, yes. But LeBron is in my top 5 all time. Now, some people are going to say, no, LeBron should be number 1 or excuse me, number 2. I respectfully disagree. Kobe is my favorite player, and I'm not putting him at number 2 because I don't believe if we look at overall career resume, he should be ahead of Kareem. I just don't believe so. And I think it's extremely disrespectful to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for me to just put Kobe up there with that type of resume. One could make an argument that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had the greatest basketball career ever, if we include college and the pros. We could say that. If you look at Michael Jordan, if we just thought about it for a second, what if Jordan never went to college? What if Jordan never went to college and he got to play for maybe an additional 3 years earlier when he came in the NBA? How many points do you think Jordan would have scored? It would have been totally absurd, but he didn't. But that still doesn't take away from Kareem. But to me, I think LeBron James, somebody said LeBron is better than Michael Jordan. There's no way LeBron is better than Michael Jordan. There's absolutely no way. Which brings me to JJ Redick and Jay Williams, who I like. Today, Jay Williams was arguing about, well, one second. B. Brazy, LeBron fans don't want Kobe in the top 3 because they want LeBron to be next to Jordan. If you remove Kobe, bronzexuals believe it closes the gap. First of all, appreciate the comment. No, I can't do that. I can't do that. To me, I've watched a lot of Jordan tape. We saw The Last Dance. I saw a lot of his highlights. I've researched his career in depth. And I don't even think Kobe's better than him. Even me, as a Kobe, I don't think it. Kobe was the closest thing, based on what I've seen, Kobe was the closest thing to Jordan. The closest. And I look at Kobe and I used to watch him play and I'm like, how can somebody be this good at basketball? I used to watch Kobe play and I'm like, yo, are you seeing these shots? I'm like, yo, are y'all seeing these shots? Are you seeing the footwork? I've never seen somebody body Kobe up. He just leans on the guy a little bit, then goes the other way and lays it off. I'm like, yo, come on, this is crazy stuff. Plus, he won. So it's not like a dude that just had a very deep bag but didn't win. He won. Let me read this comment. Smooth Savage, welcome in. Kobe also beat the Celtics and Magic teams that LeBron couldn't get past, both in the finals. Very good points. Very good points. Somebody else left a comment. Ami Belford, what if MJ never retired in 1993? Shaking my head. You LeBron fans are delusional. Well, if you say that, first of all, thank you for the comment. If you say that, they're going to say he didn't retire, he quit. That's what him and Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless. And first of all, shout out to Skip Bayless today, man. Skip Bayless finally did some research. Skip Bayless was using the arguments he used to use on ESPN Cold Pizza for the past 10 years. And for the first time in maybe 10 years, Skip Bayless decided, you know what? Let me do some more research before I come on TV to argue on the behalf of Michael Jordan. Because today he actually had some very good counterpoints to Shannon Sharpe. And it was one of the reasons Shannon Sharpe was getting so upset. He started going to baseball and tennis and dodgeball and paintball. He went everywhere. Skip actually has some good arguments to make today. But let me get to the point of Jay Williams and JJ Redick. They were talking about we should appreciate what LeBron is doing because of the era that we play in. For the people in the comment section, if you were watching the NBA in the early 2000s, just type yes. I got a question for you guys. If you were watching basketball when Allen Iverson, Vince Carter, and these guys chat, just type yes in the comment section because I got a question for you guys. Good. Y'all was watching it. Yes. Let me ask y'all a question. How many times a game did y'all used to see an and one? An and one back in the early 2000s in a basketball game. How frequent did you see and ones? It rarely happened, an and one. They rarely used to call and ones. I barely saw it. In the NBA today, they literally call and ones literally all the time. Number one. Number two, in the NBA today, you can't even touch dudes. You cannot even touch them. JJ Redick spoke about the illegal defense that Michael Jordan used to play under. What's the illegal defense? The illegal defense was if Michael Jordan got the ball and he ISO'd, let's say at the elbow, right? Left elbow, right elbow, whatever. He ISO'd at the elbow, maybe in a triple threat position, facing the basket, and one defender was guarding him. A secondary defender could not come over to Jordan until he made his move. And they're saying that gave Jordan an advantage because in today's NBA game, if you get the ball and you ISO on any part of the floor to be a scoring threat, the secondary defender can immediately come at you to either double team you or get the ball out of your hand. So he was saying, because of that rule change, it made it easier for Michael Jordan to score more points and score easier baskets when he was playing. And it's harder for LeBron to play now because of, quote unquote, the illegal defense. Now, if I'm not mistaken, did Michael Jordan play during the hand checking era? Help me understand. When Jordan played, were you allowed to hand check? Were you allowed to hand check? I'm not talking about putting your forearm on somebody. That's not hand checking. Hand checking means you can put your hand on the guy and literally guide the offensive player where you want to go. Go look at Scottie Pippen highlights and look at him hand checking guys as they're trying to get into their moves. It's a lot harder actually to break down defenders when you're hand checking them. That's number one. Number two, because the NBA was not focused on threes, what does it mean? Even if you beat the primary defender, there was no spacing on the floor for you to just, I don't know, drive to the basket. Do you know why? Because your center was not 6'9" or 6'10". It would be an absolute abomination in the 90s to have a center, or maybe have LeBron James play the center position. That is absolutely ludicrous. It's absolutely ludicrous. Ludicrous. Jordan was literally playing basketball, football, basically with no spacing. And do you know who unwittingly proved that Jordan was actually playing in a tougher era? It was Draymond Green. Draymond Green said, I was watching the tape of the 1998 series between the Chicago Bulls and the Utah Jazz. And I was like, look at the spacing on the floor. There's no spacing. Like, we would definitely tear these guys apart. And it's like, duh, there was no spacing. So how the hell do you score? How the hell do you score? Let me ask y'all another question. Name me some of the elite defenders in the NBA today. Rudy Gobert? Who are some of the elite defenders, perimeter defenders in the NBA today? Name them. Who are these great defenders? Who are the great defenders? Y'all know the defenders that Kobe used to play against? Kobe Bryant probably played against the best collection of defensive wings probably of all time. Kobe played against Shane Battier, Bruce Bowen, Tony Allen, Ron Artest, Tracy McGrady, who was a hell of a defender. Who was some other what's his name? What's the guy's name? Trevor Ariza, Sean Marion was also a hell of a defender. And these are the guys he was going against. Dante Jones, these dudes, these type of guys in his conference. Every year, Kobe had to play against those type of dudes. Matt Barnes, all of these guys. Those were the elite defenders. In today's NBA, if it's harder to score in the NBA today, why are so many players having so many 40 and 50-point games? You had the kid from Brooklyn. He had two back-to-back 40-point games. Two back-to-back 40-point games. That would be unheard of back then. And finally, what do you think is harder to score 30 in? Do you think it's harder to get 30 points in an NBA game that averages 100 points per game? Or is it easier to score 30 points when teams are scoring 120 a night? Because Jordan was basically generating 30% of the offense for his team, for his career. 30%. Like Isaiah Thomas said, if you get 30 and your team scores 100, that's a dominant 30. Today, you be having 2-3 dudes, 25 plus another dude got 30 in the same team, on the same team. So it's way easier to score in this NBA. Way easier. All that being said, in my personal view, that still doesn't take away from LeBron, because even if the NBA is softer today in terms of the defense, he still went out there and scored those points. So to me, LeBron is a top 5 player in my book. I can't put Kareem in my top 5 when he was in his prime back-to-back seasons. He didn't make the playoffs, and this was before the merger. That's a good, you see, now, first of all, thanks for the comment. We now get into murky waters, because there are a lot of players that didn't make the playoffs for various reasons. To me, I don't really look at players not really to making the play. And it's one of the reasons I changed my position on LeBron. I'm like, well, even though he had a lot of talent, but I'm like, let me look at the good that he's done. And when I look at all the good that he's done, I'm like, this guy has to be a top 10 player. There are a lot of players that miss the playoffs for whatever reason. To me, it's all about what you did in the playoffs. And I see a lot of people saying LeBron James is the GOAT. I cannot say LeBron is the GOAT after 2011, bro. If you saw that, you cannot say that. The argument they were having on Undisputed today was Jordan was never. Oh, yo, Anton, what's good? Hold on, Anton, what do you disagree with? You said that what? You said that Jordan, you disagree with that LeBron is not the, don't tell me you think LeBron is the GOAT, man. Don't do that to me right now. Do not tell me you think LeBron James is the GOAT. Do not do that to me right now, man. Don't do that to me, Anton. Shout out to Anton Daniels in the live, man. Shout out to Anton Daniels. Don't do that to me, Anton. Oh, okay. He said He said Kareem is the GOAT. Okay. That's different. There's some people that feel that way. There's some people that feel that, and you can make that argument. I disagree with Anton. I think it's Jordan, but I got Kareem number 2. But you're not going to tell me LeBron should be ranked higher than Kareem. You're not going to do that to me. Shout out to Anton, man. That's what's up. If this era is the hardest era to play D in, then automatically Kawhi Leonard is the top 5 perimeter defender of all time. Just saying, we can't have it both ways. That's a good point. Now, Kawhi is one of the best defensive. Kawhi was playing before it became the three. It became a 3-point league when the Golden State Warriors started taking over. That's when the league started trending towards that, because it's a copycat league. It's a copycat league. At one point, the thing was to have 2 big men or 2 7-footers as your center and your power forward, because they were trying to copy the Boston Celtics and the Lakers. I'm talking about Kobe and Kevin Garnett, because Kevin Garnett and Kendrick Perkins were 2 7-footers, and they won the championship. And then the Lakers had Andrew Bynum, who was a 7-footer, and then you had Paul Gasol, who was also another 7-footer, and the Spurs also at one time had David Robinson and Tim Duncan. So at that time, the thought was always go big. But then Stephen Curry came in, and they saw that this dude won basketball in a way that nobody ever did, which was by shooting threes, because the talk around the NBA was always live by the 3, die by the 3. But then they saw Stephen Curry do it, and then everybody started copying it, forgetting that there's only one Stephen Curry and only one Klay Thompson. That's the problem. James Harden and the Rockets tried to do it. They didn't do it. Some other teams tried. I think Mike D'Antoni tried to do it at one point, kind of, with with the Phoenix Suns with Steve Nash and these dudes. It kind of worked, but it didn't really work. So they copied the Warriors, and now everybody's trying to do the Warriors. And then what happened? It was about to go, and then Kevin Durant turned it into a super team league. And then Kawhi had an opportunity to join the Lakers, which would have kept the super team era going. But then he went to LA and then it brought in parity. And then Brooklyn came back in with those dudes and made it a big three. And then the Lakers followed them and then they messed up. Yes, I agree with, yes, Anton, I agree. Kareem, so to me, if you think Kareem is the GOAT, an argument can be made. I think Jordan is the GOAT, but I got Kareem in my top 2. But overall for LeBron, I got LeBron in my top 5 now. And I don't think that there's anything else LeBron has to prove in terms of just to me. I don't think LeBron has to prove anything like, okay, go out there and win another championship to be a top 5 player. Because even if LeBron did win another championship, which is highly improbable, it will still be hard to say he had a better career than Jordan. And Kareem does have 6 championships. And I think Kareem has 6 regular season MVPs, if I'm not mistaken. 6. Who is this? LeBron would have never passed MJ no matter what he did. It would have been very hard, man. It would have been very hard for him to pass Michael Jordan. But to me, he's top 5 in my book. Maybe some of my viewers would agree. Some of my viewers would disagree. But I think he's top 5. Some people have him top 2. Some people have him top 10. But I think he's definitely top 5. For me, that's where he is. He's definitely one of the greatest players of all time. I'm not going to front on him after that night. That was incredible. That was absolutely incredible. Some people got him at different ranks. But for me, I think he's top 5. Some people will argue that he's number 1. I don't think that, but that's just me. So that's my own thing here. So LeBron is top 5. Y'all can stop calling me a hater. If you think I'm a hater still, then you can go ahead and kick rocks. Y'all can go ahead and kick rocks. I'm sorry. I'm not going to make LeBron James the GOAT. Kevin Chavez. Hey, appreciate that, Kevin. I'm not going to do that. Like, come on. We're not going to twerk it up that hard. Come on. We're not going to twerk it up that hard. Anton, not making the playoffs and losing, getting to the finals can't count also. I hate when people say that the finals lose and wins matter. That's insane. Yo, Anton, you better be careful, man. These LeBron fans, they will come for you. I'm just letting you know right now, man. If you go a little bit too hard on them, they definitely will come for you. So, Anton, they already be coming for me. So don't send them on my back right now. But I definitely hear what you're saying. You see, they already started, man. You see, somebody said Anton is capping. They already started. They already started. So, Anton, if you do that, that's on you, bro. You're not gonna get me started with this stuff right here. Who left this? Rodney Rivers. Hey, Rodney, appreciate that. Appreciate that. Also, LeBron is top 10. Kawhi always locked down LeBron in the playoffs. LeBron might look like a Billy Goat, but he's not the GOAT. Yo, LeBron fans make me sick. Except LeBron. LeBron is top 3. Is fair. If you have LeBron in your top 3 and you think LeBron is better than Kobe, no problem. I disagree, but if you believe that, you believe that. I'm not going to sit up here and fight with you. Regardless of defense, if LeBron averages 7.3 assists, if you add 2 points per 1,400 games, at least one assist, 2,800 points. Yes, I agree. But to me, I don't really know when this longevity thing became the argument. Because to be quite honest with you, over the last 10 years, it never really was the argument. And that's why I was surprised, because Jordan, a lot of people already consider him the GOAT, and nobody was talking about longevity. Nobody really was talking about that. How many years did Magic Johnson play for? And most people have him in their top 5. How many years did he play for? So it's only recently that this longevity came into the place. David Estilo, LeBron stands harp on MJ's chips being accomplishments, but have a problem bragging about LeBron winning the 16 finals. They push the goalpost and only have arguments to benefit Braun. LBJ stands are the worst. Hey, man, I agree, man. I agree. But, today was supposed to be nice to LeBron fans, because I saw on Undisputed on ESPN First Take, they had Stephen A. Smith and Mad Dog Russo up there, and Stephen A. Smith was like, I still have Jordan as the GOAT, and they started getting upset with him. JJ Redick came in and he was pissed off. So today is not the day that we got to keep it extra real on LeBron. I'm just saying. But I feel you. Dirk erased LeBron's only chance to catch MJ. The fadeaway was for Dirk to thank him so the world can hear Charles Twerk's voice. Yeah. I mean, that 2011's finals, man, we can't overlook that. I appreciate that. We cannot overlook that. We got to be fair. Like, we got to be fair. And a lot of people use the argument Jordan didn't face anybody in the finals. But you can't be saying that and then turn around and be dancing when the Lakers won the championship in 2020 when they beat Jimmy Butler, an injured Goran Dragic, and Tyler Hero that came off the bench. And everybody accepted that championship. Everybody did. So to me, it's ridiculous. We cannot do that. LeBron had the most bites at the Apple Finals. Had he a better finals record for his GOAT argument would have been solid. He's the modern day Wilt stats. Appreciate the comment. Also, somebody else left. Where did I see it? It was from Kevin Chavez. Appreciate that. Let me see. JB, let's leave the media GOAT talking points and actually appreciate greatness for once. No. Again, I think LeBron is top 5. I think he's top 5. Some people disagree. Somebody called me a clown. Oh, he's a bozo. He doesn't have him in his top 5. Yo, whatever. But I'm not gonna go that hard. Y'all not gonna get me to. Yeah, Y'all not gonna get me to twerk it up that hard. I'm sorry. Like, it ain't gonna happen. No way. The Bulls played 60-win teams in the '93 Suns and Sonics and Jazz. Yep, very true. LeBron wears Jordans too. Yeah, that had me bugging out that Bronny and Bryce was wearing Jordans. I'd have been pissed. If I was LeBron, I'd have been like, yo, take them shits off, man. Sorry, I had to cuss. Just remind me when I was in school, like, yo, run that. Take that off. Take that off, man. Take them joints off, man. Let me see. LeBron is the king of the Eastern Conference. Kobe is miles better than LeBron. Braun, who got more finals MVP? Braun, Kobe 4, Kareem 2. But it's not just finals MVPs. It's not just finals MVP. And this is the point. This is the point. We can't pick and choose which ones we want to count. We can't pick and choose finals MVPs because the same people that will use that argument will also be the same ones that say that LeBron is better than Jordan. But Jordan has more finals MVPs. And the only reason I get annoyed with LeBron fans is for 2 reasons. Number one, they don't address the losing. You got to address the losing. And number 2, we're constantly moving the goalposts. That's not fair. You cannot tell me that he's the GOAT, but he got swept in the finals twice. You can't tell me that. I'm sorry. LeBron was caught purchasing illegal PEDs from the Biden lab in 2013, and that's proven fact. Not an opinion. Performance-enhancing drugs taking over pro sports in the last decade. Yeah, I heard about that. I don't know. I never heard a story written about it, but I heard about it. But then again, I'm not really sure. But appreciate the comment. Yep, LeBron and MJ fan. What were the times LeBron and his super team should have won in the titles and all his finals appeared? Go through every finals match and please tell me he had a better team. Yep, Braun and MJ fan. What were the times Braun and his team should have won the titles in all of the finals appearances? Go through every finals matchup. Please tell me he had a better chance to win. I'm going to answer that question in a second. 17 people in the final. Let me ask you a question. This is for Kevin Chavez. And I'm going to ask the audience a question. Thank you for the super chat. If you truly believe that LeBron is the GOAT, don't you think, we're not talking about a great player. We're talking about the greatest player of all time. Don't you think LeBron should give your team the greatest premium in NBA history over any other player going into any other? Shouldn't he be the deciding factor if he is truly, in fact, the GOAT? Seriously. Because I can never think of a series in which Michael Jordan was favored to win and didn't win. I cannot think of a series like that. But we can think of a series when LeBron was clearly favored to win and he lost 2 times. We can think about the finals versus the Mavs. Kobe Bryant 2013 was AKA Vino. If Vino didn't, you're absolutely right. And that's a point I always try to get to, but I forget. If you think, I appreciate that. If you think about the 2011 finals, the Miami Heat were the overwhelming favorites. The overwhelming favorites. And they lost. Even when they beat the Spurs, they still had more or less the same team, but they just got blown off the floor. Even if Dwayne Wade had diminished a little bit with his knees or was starting to be on a decline, LeBron was in the heart of his prime. You cannot tell me that you're the greatest player and you get blown off the floor like that. It just doesn't happen. And you cannot get swept multiple times in the finals. And then at the end, turn around and say, well, I still think he's the GOAT, even though I'm going to rank him above dudes that never happened to. Like, I can't do that. It's not fair. We're just ignoring losses. We're just ignoring it. And Jordan, I've never seen Jordan get swept in the finals, ever. Another reason why, forget about the argument of who was favored to win the championship or not. Let me ask you a question. This is for Kevin Chavez. You don't have to respond with a super chat. You don't have to. It's just a question. If LeBron, no, Kobe Bryant's efficiency was not abysmal. No, actually, it was not. Sorry to burst your bubble. Actually, it was not. LeBron shot a higher field goal percentage from like 0 to 3 feet under the basket, like a 70%. From, I think, 3 feet out to the 3-point line, Kobe shot well above 40, and LeBron shot under 40 for his entire career. LeBron shoots a higher 3-point shooting percentage because of the advent of the three now. He takes more threes. LeBron is averaging 8 threes a game. Kobe only attempted more than 6 threes one time in his career. LeBron has averaged at least 6 3-point shots a game over the last 6 years. And LeBron doesn't even shoot 80% from the free throw line for his career. Kobe shoots 83 for his career. You don't turn around and tell me his efficiency was abysmal, because I got to ask you what's up with those numbers. Kobe shoots a better percentage. Go look it up. It's right there. From those distances, Kobe shoots. I'm not up here lying or making stuff up. LeBron shoots from 3 to 10. He shoots 42%. From 3 to 10 feet for his career. From 10 to 16, he shoots 36.6. And from 16 to 3, he shoots 38.7. Kobe from 3 to 10 shoots 43.7. From 10 to 16, he shoots 43%, almost 6 percentage points higher than LeBron. And Kobe shoots 40% from 16 to 3. Stop. And he has a better free throw shooting percentage. Stop. Like, we're just making stuff up here. Stop. LeBron is a media-driven player. When he wins, his fans always say that he's the greatest thing in the world. But when he loses, it's the team's fault, and suddenly they don't have enough help. That's another narrative. And I 100% agree. Miami was up 2-1 in the finals, and they still lost. Yes, I remember. LeBron, I appreciate that. LeBron is the king because other players eat. Dirk, Kawhi, Warriors. Jordan is a tyrant because he let other players stay starving and hungry and will let them eat by retiring. Elijah, yeah. Another person said, appreciate this. LeBron is 4 rings equals 4 rings over 20 years. MJ 6. No, the LeBron and MJ argument to me is laughable. LeBron is a top 5 player, but to put him next to Michael Jordan is laughable. And I don't want to get into LeBron bashing on this day. It's not about that. And that's where me and LeBron fans, we part ways. LeBron is a top 5 player to me. 100%. 100. I got him 4 all time. 4. But to say he's next to Jordan or close to Jordan is actually ludicrous. If LeBron is as good as you say he is, because I keep hearing he's dominated the sport, how? Kobe Bryant has been a part of the three-peat. Michael Jordan has been a part of 2 three-peats. Why hasn't LeBron been able to three-peat once? No, you tell me. You tell me. I think the year that the Cavs lost to the Orlando Magic, I think they had the best record that season, if I'm not mistaken, or one of the best records in the NBA that year. You tell me, if he's the GOAT, why can't he why hasn't he three-peated not one time? I didn't say 2 times. I said 1 time. 1 time. Like, why? How? I appreciate that, Lee. Appreciate that. Not even 1 time. Do you know how hard it is to three-peat? Do you know how hard? I heard Shannon Sharp put up another lame-o argument today. Another lame argument. Injuries happen to everybody. Injuries happen to everybody. You can't use that. Injuries happen. You can't use an excuse that literally everybody can use. Injuries, it happens to everybody. I can say, oh, if Kawhi didn't get injured, they would have won the title in 2021. But he got injured. But that doesn't mean that Giannis doesn't deserve to be there. He's not. It happens. It's a part of sports. So to me, I can tolerate LeBron being top 5. If some of you guys want to have him up above Kobe, although I disagree, whatever. I'm not going to go back and forth with you about it. But if you want me to have him above Kobe, you can kick rocks. If you want him to have him above Kareem, definitely not happening. And the Jordan thing is just laughable. I'm sorry, it's laughable. And it sounds like a lot of these guys, I don't know what it is. It seems like as if they're trying to make it seem as if, like, if you pick Michael Jordan, you're an old head. It's like, well, you think Jordan is good because that's what old heads do. It's like, no, bro. We think he's good because he's actually that good. And first of all, what the hell is up? So hold up. How old makes you an old head? How old makes you an old head? What you got to be like, what? 30? 30? You an old head at 30? Let me know. What's an old head these days? Because it seems like everybody's an old head. What is an old head? Old head to me is like somebody in their 60s. But what? Oh, 30 years old is an old head. Man, y'all better go sit the hell down with that one, man. So hold up. The person that said 30 years old is an old head, how old are you? I'm just curious. You got to be like 15 years old. You 30, man, stop that. Who convinced you? Who told you was old? Who told you that? Man, stop that. 30, that's an old head? Let me tell y'all what an old head is. An old head refers to the dudes in high school that kept getting left back, and these dudes was like 3 years older than the younger kids, and they'd be like, yo, this son is mad old. This is an old head. An old head ain't nobody that's 30 years old. What are we talking about here? 30 is a man prime. No, it's not. 30 is not a man's prime. Men begin to hit their prime in their 40s. Where y'all getting these stats from? What are y'all talking about? Most men start making their money in their 40s. Where y'all get this? Where are y'all getting this from? What? 30, you old? So what are you at 40? You must be like, you about to 50, you about to go to the funeral home? Like, what are we talking about? Kobe did more with less. LeBron did less with more. Period. Stats lie, results don't. Damn, that was heavy. The real Leezy, that was heavy, man. Appreciate that. That was heavy. But this thing about old and all of that, that's crazy. Y'all got to stop. 30 years old is old? Who told you that? 30 is a physical prime. Yeah, but we're not. What are we doing? Lifting? I don't understand. Are we carrying buckets of water back and forth from the stream every day? What are we talking about? Where do you live? Why is that? Why are we counting that as your physical prime, but we're also talking about your mental maturity? What are we doing? Are we going to the gym to lift weights? What is the weightlifting competition? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? 30s, what are we talking about? If we're talking about dudes playing professional sports, that's one thing. But if we're talking about in reality, what are we even talking about? 30 is not your prime. Men hit their 40s. What the hell? Man, somebody got y'all tripping out, man. 30 is when you start to become a man, really. And I don't really I consider dudes, I consider a dude like in his mid-20s as a young man. A dude that's 22 years old, to me, is a kid. Because if I look back when I was 22 years old, I was a kid. But when you start hitting your mental maturity and all of that stuff, man. Okay, so hold up. Let me ask y'all a question. We're going off topic a little bit. If you're 30 and you have a kid that's, well, if you have a kid if you have a kid that's 10 years old, it means you had that kid when you were 20. So no, let's say the kid is 5 years old and you're 30. What are you teaching him? What are you teaching him about life? What's the life that you've lived? What's the life lessons? I'm lost here. Like, I'm lost. 30? Man, y'all better stop that. Y'all better go look up the most successful men and average out their ages, and you will find out when men actually begin to hit their financial stride. It's not at 30. Men begin to hit their financial stride in their 40s. That's why if you ask most women, I don't even know why the hell we're getting into this debate right here. This is the most ridiculous debate. But anyway, if you ask most women, they tend to go after older men. Why? Older men usually have more experience in the corporate world. They're more seasoned. They're more mentally matured. Usually by that time, they're ready to have a house and all of that stuff. When do you think people start getting promoted? Okay, so let me ask you a question. Why do you think they allow presidents? They won't allow a president to become president in the United States, at least until he's the age of 40. Why do you think that is? Anyway, let me get back to the slide, man. So anyway, so that was it. LeBron is in my top 10. I mean, top 5. He's not going to be the GOAT to me. I definitely think, though, that he's top 5. If you disagree with all of that, then I totally disagree with that. But for me, he's not the GOAT, but he's definitely top 5. In terms of greatest scorers of all time, I do not think LeBron is a better scorer than Kobe. I don't think he's a better scorer than Michael Jordan. I don't think so. If you watch these guys play ball, there's no way in reality you're going to tell me that this guy is a better scorer. But that's just my thoughts and opinions. So appreciate you guys being a part of this live, man. We really appreciate it. Sorry I got distracted. Maybe we'll do a live about that one day. If you guys want to talk about men maturity and all that stuff, maybe we'll do a workshop about that. But for now, let's keep it strictly he's outscored Kobe Bryant. See, man, I'll be wanting to go and then they do this to me. Come on. How many 60-point games LeBron got in his career? How many 60-point games does LeBron have in his career? Forget about 60. How many 50-point games does LeBron have in his career? Or we make it easy. How many 40-point games? Kobe got like 127. Kobe got like 127. I don't want to hear nothing about no head-to-head matchup because Kawhi Leonard has a better head-to-head matchup than LeBron. And I'm not saying Kawhi Leonard is better than LeBron. Like, come on. Like, what are we doing? But anyway, appreciate that, man. We'll catch you guys on the next live. Thank you guys for being a part of this one. We catch you on the next one. Have a good one. Have a good one. Peace.